and welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. It's not sounding great to me. I may not have turned this on. Yeah. It's all on me, this one. Yeah. There's a pocket really right there. Okay. Maybe in another 20 years. Good morning. And welcome Church of Ventura. Still not on? Okay. Welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am the Reverend Dana Worsnop, minister of this vital, carrying community that sure knows how to throw a gal a good party. Thank you. We celebrated last night the 20th anniversary of my ordination, which is kind of gobsmacking. And we did it in fine UU Ventura fashion. It's beautiful. So, all of you, all y'all, whether you have been coming here for 30 years, and there are many of you out there, for 30 years or 10 months or 10 minutes, and there's you almost always one of you out there too, we are glad that you have joined us. We are a community of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders, and we welcome you all with our widest embrace. We preface our services each week by acknowledging that the land our building rests upon is the unceded ancestral homeland of the Chumash peoples. And let us take this moment to pause and remember that we live on ground that is sacred. This is central to who we are. Ground that is sacred. Ground that does cry out for justice and for our responsible stewardship. And in so remembering all of this, may we continue to find the courage to do our part to restore wholeness to the earth and all her peoples. I do want to just share a few brief announcements. The Green Room Gallery our art gallery, it will be switching over to a new exhibition in January. So two things, it's a really good time to visit it. The Green Room is straight back of the sanctuary and it's painted green. So you'll know you're in the right place when you open the door. And also, if you have artwork for the new show, please go on the link at the website at uuventura.org, or there will be applications at the Connecting Center in Berg Hall. So also longest night memorials are the longest night memorial services for our homeless neighbors. 2 of them this coming Saturday and Sunday. They'll be in Plaza Park in Ventura at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, and at Plaza Park in Oxnard at 3:30 p.m. on Sunday. It is a way to acknowledge our human connection to some of the most vulnerable among us. Also, just letting you know, it's been out, but get the word out everywhere. We will have 2 services on Christmas Eve, 1 in the morning, and there will be much jingling of bells. All generation service, jingle all the way, come on in and jingle. And in the evening, we will have a second service at 5:30 p.m. All welcome, all ages welcome also for lessons and carols for peace. So each time we gather in an utterly unique combination, this gathering. Each time we gather, we create something new in the world that is unrepeatable. And each of our gatherings, each time we gather, we change the world. Maybe only in an infinitesimal way, but we change the world. So let us tell that story newly every Sunday, every moment, every day of our lives as we enter sacred space.
There I am. I'm Worship Associate Celia Ortenberg, and we invite those of you who are Zooming or streaming into the worship to light a chalice or a candle at home as Reverend Dana lights the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary.
At sundown, the fourth night of Hanukkah will begin tonight. In this season of mystery, let us also celebrate the holiday miracle of the temple light that burned for 8 nights on a single day's supply. In our current times that are so fraught and seemingly in need of a miracle or two or 20. Let us consider that the Hanukkah miracle that we talk about might not have been that the temple light burned for so long on a single night's supply. Perhaps the real miracle is that the people lit the lamp at all, fully knowing there was not enough oil, and still taking the next faithful step. Gary Zinnick will now light our menorah and say the prayer for the fourth night of Hanukkah.
I'm going to say the Hanukkah blessing, first in Hebrew, followed by the English. And for those of you that know it, please join in. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvot tov b'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Blessed are you, our God, ruler of the universe, who made us holy through your commandments and commanded us to light the Hanukkah lights. Happy Hanukkah.
This is both of us, right? No. You. My great honor. It's coming. It is my great honor, truly, to welcome the Reverend Dick Weston, Minister Emeritus of this congregation, Minister Emeritus of this church. He was the minister here from 1991 to 2000. Some of you here remember him, and for others, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce him to you. I give you the Reverend
Dick Weston.
Reverend Dick was our minister. There we are. Reverend Dick Weston was our minister for most of my daughters growing up when we met in the old farmhouse up on the hill. He was their minister and ours, and I thank you for that, Dick. I have, if you have ever rested, if any of you have ever rested on the whale's tail out towards the back of our property, you have also been touched by Dick and his ministry. It was his parting gift to commemorate the whale coast trips that he led up to Alaska and down into Mexico. It is good to have you back here, Dick. Welcome. Our reading this morning is by Katie Kandarian Morris. Here we have come into this sacred space, quieter now, with readiness, hushed voices, hoping, trusting for so many things, for connection, for communion, for inspiration, for information, for healing, for wholeness, for words, for music, for celebration and consolation. Here we have come into this space, bringing all of who we are. Let us be willing, however we are changed. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn Bjerke, the music director, and I'd like to invite you all to join with me in singing our opening hymn, Gathered Here. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing. We're going to sing it one time through, all as a group, and then we're going to split and sing it in a round. This side starting, and then this side. All right, here we go. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the struggle power, Spirit draw the struggle and the power, Spirit draw the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the struggle power, Spirit draw the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
My name is Lily Rappaport. I'm the acting director of Family Ministry, and now is the time that we're going to call all the young and the young at heart to come sit up in front up here for our story. Come on, that's it. So today's story is called Madame Martine, written by Sarah Brannon. Madame Martine lived alone in a little apartment in Paris. She took the same walk every day. She shopped at the same stores. She wore the same coat, and that's how she liked it. Madame Martine lived near the Eiffel Tower, but she had never climbed it. Eh, it's a tourist thing, said Madame Martine. Every morning, Madame Martine went to Rue Claire and bought chicken on Monday, scallops on Tuesday, mushrooms on Wednesday, beef on Thursday, and fish on Friday. On Saturday, she fed the birds. On Sunday, she stayed home. One rainy Saturday, Madame Martine saw a bright pair of eyes twinkling in a bush. The eyes belonged to a very small, very wet, very dirty dog. Madame Martine looked up the street and down the sidewalk. No one seemed to be missing a dog. She reached down and a small tongue licked her hand. It needs me, thought Madame Martine. The dog looked at her and wagged its tail. A dog might be nice, thought Madame Martine. Madame Martine made up her mind. She tucked the dog under her arm and carried it home. She washed it and toweled it dry. She shared her dinner. I think I'll call you Max, said Madame Martine. In the morning, Madame Martine bought a croissant for breakfast. She also bought a collar, a leash, dog food, and a bowl for Max. Madame Martine took Max shopping with her, and then two tourists asked Madame Martine the way to the Eiffel Tower, and she pointed up the street. It's beautiful, they said. What's it like at the top? I don't know, said Madame Martine. The tourists were surprised. Such a waste of time, said Madame Martine, climbing all the way up just to climb down again. The tourists rushed away. Mag wagged his tail. One ordinary Saturday, Madame Martine and Max walked under the tower on their way home. A squirrel dashed in front of them, and Max leaped after it and jerked his leash out of Madame Martine's hand. Max, cried Madame Martine. Max raced up the stairs and under the turnstile. Stop, said the guard. No dogs allowed. Ma parole, said Madame Martine. She quickly bought a ticket and went in. Max was bounding up the stairs above her. Madame Martine climbed after him. 1 flight, 2 flights, 3 flights. Max, she called. 4 flights, 5 flights, 6 flights. She stopped to catch her breath. Max saw her resting and also stopped to catch his breath. Alors, muttered Madame Martine. Starting up again, Max raced higher. The flight of stairs ended. First level. Madame Martine's knees were shaking. She couldn't see Max anywhere. A few tourists roamed the platform and watching the sun set over Paris. Mama, cried a little boy, there's a dog up there. Madame Martine saw Max climbing up to the 2nd level. She groaned and started up after him. So high, so windy. Madame Martine gripped the rail and kept going. And as they reached the 2nd level, the elevator to the top of the tower arrived. A few tourists got off. Max got in. Madame Martine ran to the elevator and made it just as the doors closed. She picked up Max. Bad dog, she said. Max licked her face. Madame Martine closed her eyes and breathed deeply as the elevator creaked upward. It stopped and the doors opened. Oh, said Madame Martine. I never knew how beautiful it was. How did you bring that dog up here? Asked the guard. Dogs are strictly forbidden. I didn't bring him up here, said Madame Martine. He brought me. Madame Martine and Max took the same walk every day. They wore the same coat. They sat in the same cafe. Then they went to Rue Claire and bought chicken on Monday, scallops on Tuesday, mushrooms on Wednesday, beef on Thursday, and fish on Friday. Every Saturday, they tried something new. That was how they liked it. And here's to trying out new things with new friends on Saturday. And now, if you will, let's rise up in the middle aisle here and create our bridge of love so that we could sing our children out to the classrooms.
That was a great story, Lily. Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our collection to an organization in the larger community or to funds that help people in this church. Those at home have two ways to give: through the link posted in the chat and by texting from your phone to the number that will be on our screen. Folks present can text to give, or you can still write a check or give cash, then drop it in the baskets at the back of the sanctuary after the service. Our offering today goes to warm packs for foul weather shelters in Oxnard and Ventura to give our unhoused neighbors in those cities the best protection we can during what is expected to be a cold and wet winter. On the rainiest and coldest nights, the oldest and most vulnerable of our homeless neighbors will be provided with motel rooms. For those who don't get a motel room on the nights when the weather is at its worst, our offering today will provide sleeping bags, blankets, rain ponchos, jackets, tarps, and snacks. However, we can still help. Imagine how you will feel when heavy rains and cold nights come this winter, knowing that people are out in it because they have no warm and dry place to go. Today, you can give to provide them some comfort. Congregations in both cities are also signing up to provide meals for them. You can stop near the connecting table in Berg Hall today to sign up to help provide meals or volunteer in other ways. Thank you for giving generously, as you always do. We are grateful for the tapestry of generosity of this congregation, which weaves a tapestry of love that we call community that wraps around all of us. Thank you.
A member of our church community, Frank Peterson, died on November 10th in the Bay Area, where he moved less than a year ago to be near his son. He was 92. Frank was among the founding group who raised money to buy our first church home, the Terry House, the little farmhouse up on the hill that people keep talking about. And then, after it was secured and purchased, he threw himself into caring for it. He was also a veteran of the Korean War and then a great peace activist. In honor and remembrance of Frank Peterson, we light our memorial candle from the chalice flame and extinguish the chalice for some moments of silent reflection. The chalice flame will be relighted and both will be extinguished at the end of the service.
Now is the time in the service where we hold up the great joys and sorrows that grace our lives. We place stones in water for both the celebrations and the sorrows in our hearts, making ripples that can be seen and felt throughout our community. You can submit a joy or a sorrow for sharing via a link on our website, uuventura.org, or a link in our Thursday bulletin, email bulletin, UUCV This Week. Those received by 8 p.m. on Saturday night will be shared that Sunday. This week, there were no joys or sorrows submitted. I can't help but think that it might be because many of us were here at church when that 8 o'clock deadline came and went. We were celebrating the 20th anniversary of Reverend Dana's ordination, and for me, it was a joy to be part of that celebration. I invite you now to speak into the gathered community or write into the Zoom chat the names of those you wish to celebrate or memorialize, or those in need of the loving embrace of this beloved community. Carolyn will now place one final stone into the water for all the joys and sorrows shared and those yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Please remain seated as we sing our meditative hymn, Open My Heart. We will sing it 3 times. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
Our reading this morning is Change by Kathleen Jessie Rain. Change, said the sun to the moon, you cannot stay. Change, says the moon to the waters, all is flowing. Change, says the field to the grass, seed time and harvest, chaff and grain. You must change, said the worm to the bud, though not to a rose. Petals fade that wings may rise, borne on the wind. You are changing, said death to the maiden, your wan face to memory, to beauty. Are you ready to change? Says the thought to the heart, to let her pass all your life long for the unknown in the alchemy of the world's dream. You will change, say the stars to the sun, says the night to the stars.
I am excited and relieved to say that I completed my last seminary class this week. Woohoo! I celebrate that joy with all of you because much of my calling and inspiration has come from people in this church who have lovingly and patiently held me along the way. For my final project in school, the capstone, my class was asked to imagine the status quo. For me, that became how to support Article 2 and where the seeds of this service began. I love that we recognize that our faith is evolving. While change may be uncomfortable, like the seasons and cycles of life, it is full of possibility and potential. By considering Article 2, we recognize the value of change, and subsequently, we are living the proposed value of transformation. And very importantly, we demonstrate that commitment of change and transformation to those who feel excluded from the current Article 2, so that they may be brought more fully into the circle. In today's service, there are songs that question the unknown and speak of mystery and transformation. A lot of time, my time in the seminary has been spent thinking how music is valued in ministry, especially in the role of inspiration and transformation. How can music transform our souls? How can it help us to hear the joys, fears, sorrows, and desires of our hearts in ways that the spoken word cannot? As a chaplain, I encounter lots of questions of life and death. One place that we face much mystery is in the question, where do we go after we die? For most of us, it is a big question mark. We try to imagine, we hope for possibilities, but we don't know. I believe that it is that mystery that helps us to define our life, whether we believe in heaven or not. How many days we are going to be graced with is a mystery. How our time will end and whether it continues are more mysteries. These questions keep us up at night and sometimes are so scary that we don't want to think about them, and we drown them out. And these are the questions that ask us to live more deeply and fully. This first song is a favorite of mine because it grapples with some of those questions of mystery and unknown in a way that is open and innocent. It is from a musical called Floyd Collins, where a majority of the show is spent in a cave where the lead character has fallen, is stuck between rocks, and knows he isn't going to get out. Is it warm? Is it soft against your face? Do you feel a kind of grace inside the breeze? Will there be trees? Is there light? Does it hover on the ground? Does it shine from all around, or just from you? Is it endless and empty as you wander on your own?
That was beautiful. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you. I invite you now to close your eyes and get comfortable in your seats as we move into a time of silent reflection and contemplation. As you breathe a few nice, deep breaths, you quiet your mind. You let go of the concerns of the day, the week behind you, the week ahead. And you simply follow your empty breath. As you breathe, I invite you to imagine your breath as clouds as they move along the heavens, turning, spiraling, changing from one thing to another. Where are they going, these clouds? What are they becoming? Where are you going? How are life's changes changing you? A silent meditation.
Embarking on a journey of transformation is much like tending a garden, a dance that unfolds with grace, where the beauty of growth is revealed because of the nurturing care of the gardener. In the garden of our souls, where seeds of potential lie dormant, the process of transformation can be thought of as a gardener's tender care. Imagine a garden where the seeds represent the possibilities within us. The soil beneath is the fertile ground of our experiences, and the sunlight above is the warmth of understanding, encouragement, and acceptance. Here, love is the gardener, armed with the tools of courage, commitment, and faith. Courage is the first step, the unflinching spade that breaks through the hard crust of habit and fear. It takes courage to delve the soil of the self, to unearth the roots of complacency and confront the shadows that linger. Just as a gardener faces the unknown challenges beneath the surface, so too must we summon the courage to face our inner landscapes with all their complexities and uncertainties. Commitment is the constant watering, the consistent nurturing that sustains the fragile shoots of change. Like a gardener tending to plants day in and day out, commitment involves a steadfast dedication to the process of transformation. It is a promise to be present, to cultivate patience, and to embrace the inevitable seasons of growth and dormancy. Commitment is a force that sustains us through the inevitable storms and droughts. Faith is the sunlight. It is the unwavering belief that despite the darkness of the night or the storms that may threaten, growth is not only impossible, but inherent to our nature. Faith is the recognition that the journey of transformation is a sacred one, and that each stumbling block is actually a stepping stone towards our becoming. In this garden of transformation, love is the underlying essence. It permeates every aspect of growth. Love for oneself, love for the process, and love for the interconnected web of existence that binds us all. Love is the invisible thread that weaves together courage, commitment, and faith into this tapestry of interconnectedness. In the end, the Garden of Transformation is not merely a place of change. It is a testament to the profound power of love. It is an affirmation that the journey towards becoming is an act of love and, by extension, a gift to the world. Beautiful City is a song from the musical Godspell that speaks of the transforming power of love. This beautiful city, or beloved community, is a place where the seeds of potential have blossomed into a landscape of interconnected souls bound together by the invisible thread of love. This song beckons us to envision this city where the transformative power of love is not just a concept, but a lived reality. It is the culmination of our individual gardens, a collective tapestry woven with threads of love. It calls us to recognize the beauty that emerges when individual gardens converge. Let the music be a celebration of that delicate dance, a testament to the profound power of love that underlies our transformation.
Out
Okay, just wow. Thank you. We can't keep in our seats. We have to sing along. A beautiful city. A beloved the beloved community. What we are seeking. What we are hoping to transform ourselves into. Before I continue with my reflections, I realized that I need to make a couple of announcements that I forgot, and they're going to fit here. One of them is that we are having a new to UU session after church at about 11:30 over in this alcove for anyone who is new to new-ish and wants to know more about our congregation. And also, part of what you're doing here, I'm going to be talking a little bit about UU history, and I'm about to give you a jump start on that with these reflections, because what we're doing here is part of what we do as a congregation. And the other thing that I just want to say, because I kind of said it, kind of didn't, because it's overwhelming. Part of the beloved community and the beautiful city we build was knowing how to throw a really good party. And I just wanted to say thank you. There's so many people who did so much, and some things were really big and involved, and some things were tiny, and it takes a village, and we need it all, and my gratitude is overflowing. Beautiful city of beautiful people. So this is a living tradition, a growing, evolving, transforming community. And we have been that way since the Puritan times that we arose out of. And one of the ways that our tradition was able to grow and evolve from the Puritans, who don't resemble us very much in many ways, to modern day Unitarian Universalists actually has its origins in some of the early Puritan traditions. They were, as we still are, a covenantal faith. They gathered together in love to build a beautiful city. They also didn't gather around a creed or a set of beliefs. Rather, what they decided they wanted to do is to walk together in the ways of the Lord, known and to be made known. They sought religious freedom because they had already grown beyond the orthodoxy of the Church of England. And their God, and they also knew that their God revealed himself, newly in each generation, in each person, in each moment. They would not tie themselves down again, religiously or spiritually, after finding freedom in this new, to them, world. Now, the ways we walk together in the ways of the Lord, known and to be made known. And the Lord made themselves known in many ways over a couple of centuries. And it took a couple of centuries before some in the flock actually had transformed so very much that they couldn't stay together and there was a schism. Our Unitarian forebears were among those for whom God kept making known new truths, and the ties were finally cut in 1825 when the American Unitarian Association was formed. And we have been growing and evolving and transforming ever since, which is why we call ourselves a living tradition. Now, fast forward to today. And here we are, once again, changing and revising the statements which define and inspire us as a faith tradition, as they are written in Article 2 of the Unitarian Universalist Association's bylaws. And part of what I love about this is that the ethos of openness to change is baked right into the whole process that we have been undergoing. folks have been working at revising, trying out language, revising and updating Article 2, actually for several years. It's in the last 2 or 3 that we've been hearing more about their work. It is a daunting task to articulate our religious values for the 21st century. And in an early version of the work that they were doing, evolution was named as one of our values. And I just went, yeah, of course, that's great. There are reasons that Unitarians were among the early adopters of Darwin's theory of natural selection. It is true that Darwin himself actually had Unitarian influences in his childhood. And so maybe that made him more open, but it was the openness to new information that is revealed, new revelations that is centuries old in our tradition. And so, oh, new theory, new information, wow, that's kind of shocking. Oh, it also seems to be true. Okay. That thought process going on among the Unitarians in Darwin's time, in the second half of the 19th century. But so evolution was held up. But then in one of the many feedback sessions, someone or someone's suggesting changing evolution to transformation, which seemed to carry us into a more religious and spiritual realm. Of course, transformation is, okay. So clearly, we have been evolving and transforming even through the process of reconceiving and evolving and transforming as a faith. It just keeps happening. Because the work of this tradition is ultimately transformation. Keeping love at the center is transformative and will always keep us learning and growing and expanding. We are here to, as one of my colleagues once put it, create more love and justice in the world. We transform our hearts and help transform the world. And just if you ever doubt that we are always growing and changing and growing and changing, I suggest you just get a dog. And bring that energy to church with you. Yeah. Because dogs will disrupt your life, but also will help you learn, and cats and any critters. But learning to love more, they help us learn to love more and more expansively, and that movement will transform us over and over and over. This is work that is best captured when we keep telling the stories of our lives, and of how the world can be, how we want the world to be. Stories bring us to truths in ways that are also open to transformed understanding. So we share our stories even as they also change as we grow. The wholeness of the stories of our lives are what is welcome here and what is our work. We share our laughter and our tears, mysteries, miracle, pain, love, grief, hope, and faith. We share it all in this beloved community, this beautiful city. For it all brings us alive and weaves us together, and that is the ongoing work of transformation. May it be so.
seeds of potential change and transformation. I invite you to nurture your garden and bring your collective gardens and stories of love, grief, pain, and hope together. And with that, I invite you to rise in body and spirit and join us in our closing hymn, Turn the World Around.
Chalice? Join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the truth of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, those we carry to our lives until we are together again.
All of you here in the sanctuary today are invited after the service for coffee, tea, bagels, and conversation in our community room. Also, all visitors and guests are enthusiastically invited to stop by our popular connecting table right through these double doors for a chat. And
New to you in the alcove.
nearby is a welcome table where the welcome team member will answer your questions about our church and denomination. The words for our benediction are by Emily Richards. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go, and may it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction until we are all changed, transforming and transformed together, becoming our better selves. Blessed be, and amen.